A quick disclaimer. This video may have some strong language. I like to try and keep my reactions curse-free. Also, there's going to be talks of the sexual assault allegations that have been going around in our organization. If you do not wish to hear or listen about that kind of stuff, you are more than welcome to click away from this video. You do not have to watch. This jersey right here, throw it away. An embarrassment to the NHL and all of sports. Hawks lose 3-2 in overtime to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but that's not important at all. I'm not wearing that jersey tonight. That jersey disgusts me because there was something else that came out tonight. So the full press release of the ongoing sexual assault allegations in the organization from the 2010 season was released, and tonight the player who called himself John Doe stepped forward as Kyle Beach. And what that man had to suffer through for 10, 11 years is disgusting. It disgusts me. The franchise should be ashamed of themselves. Kyle Beach is a hero for standing up and finally coming forward. Such a brave act, and you can see in his face, 11 years after the fact, it still haunts him. What this organization did to Kyle Beach is a damn disgrace, and really, anyone who is considering on leaving the fan base and going to root for another team like the Kraken or any other franchise, they have the right to do so, and honestly, I don't blame them. I really don't know what to say. I am disappointed, angry, frustrated. All of the descriptors that you can think of is how I'm feeling about this organization right now. They honestly did not deserve to play tonight. And frankly, the entire hockey world celebrates that we lost again tonight. And frankly, they really deserve to. They didn't deserve to get their first win of the season on the same night that Kyle Beach came forth and did one of the most brave things you could ever do, which, of course, is come forward and talk about something like sexual assault. That is not a joke, should never be taken lightly. A very serious topic, has been heightened as a serious topic and brought more to light over the past couple of years. But regardless, whether it was 10, 11, who cares? Brad Aldrich is a sex offender. And I'm honestly ashamed to know that and it hurts even more to know that this was during a championship season. And I'll get to that, why that even hurts even more in just a second. But to know that a season that broke a 49-year Stanley Cup drought being also tied in with sexual assault allegations really hurts as a fan. And it really pains me. But you know what? The organization put it upon themselves. Because this happened when Kyle Beach was called up as a black ace for the playoffs in May. And that's when all of this transpired. This was brought up in an organizational meeting which included Joel Quenneville. And they all decided not to do anything about it for 3 weeks until the cup was awarded. Which is just foul. Just foul to put winning a championship over someone else's, safety, and to put it over dealing with sexual assault. It's really a shame. And the fact that Joel Quenneville's coaching tonight really strikes a bad nerve with me. And you know what? Joel Quenneville has done so much for this organization. He coached us to 3 cups. You're not going to deny how great of a coach he was. But to know that he was in on keeping this allegation under the surface until we won the cup or our run was over is disgusting. Prioritizing winning the championship over dealing with something like this is foul. And the fact that he was on record as Kyle Beach, he didn't necessarily quote him. This was his words. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it was damn close to what he actually said. Joel Quenneville said that he was going to put winning the Stanley Cup over supporting Kyle Beach of his sexual assault allegations, which is disgusting. That's really terrible, horrible, and I don't know how to feel. I'm super conflicted inside because you know what? He took us to 3 championships, but you know what? He also defended sexual assault, or at least, I don't know, defending's probably the wrong word. Kept it under the rug. He covered it up. He covered up sexual assault. Quenneville will meet with Bettman tomorrow, and frankly, he's probably going to either be forced to resign. Basically, he's going to be given an ultimatum. You either fire yourself and resign, or I'm going to do it for you. I would not be surprised if that's the outcome of any other outcome from that. If there's any other outcome from that, I would be genuinely shocked. Anyone who was part of the organization at that time needs to be gone, and they already started doing it with Stan Bowman. He's gone from the GM. You know what? He's had some pretty bad moves, including Seth Jones to $9.5 million. That man, if we're not going to fire him, he's going to fire himself for being involved with this. And frankly, good riddance, because he was just, I don't know what he was doing. He was desperately trying to keep the gang together. I don't know what he was doing. Frankly, whoever comes in may actually try to just move on from the 3 cups and our Stanley Cups, and just, if the season's a bust and, we're going to be bad, if we suck again, he may actually try to blow it up. Which, you know what, it may cost us Taves and Kane, but who cares at this point? They've done so much for the organization. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd retire at the end of their contract instead of getting traded anywhere else, because they're getting up there in age, and you can't play hockey forever. I don't know. Speaking of Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane, they had some choice words to say tonight. They kind of defended Stan Bowman because they helped him, through their playing career. And, he's been with them and supporting them through their hockey journey, which, he probably did. But he covered it up. And he was fired for it. And to see him defend like that is offsetting, and it kind of, it sucks. It really does suck. And I don't know. But what has gotten social media all riled up is the fact that they claim to not have known about the sexual assault allegations until the following offseason. Which, in the statement, there are friends of Kyle Beach on the team who said that everyone on the team knew. Those players are retired, and these players are still in the NHL. So the default assumption for a lot of people is that because these players are still in the league and fighting for contracts and wanting to still get paid and don't want to risk their job, basically, they're going to defend, the organization and whatnot. To me, it's like, why are we making these giant assumptions? I'm just not a huge fan of just making assumptions, and frankly, I'm going to take their word for it. You know what? If they didn't know, they didn't know. If they did know, oh well. I know it's like, oh, they covered it up as well. Look, I'm not here to defend Kane or Taves. I'm not trying to defend them. If it came off that way, well, this is me saying that I'm not saying that I am defending them. They said what they said, and that's that. At this point, it's like, you know what? If they're kicked off the team and they can't play in the league anymore because of what they said, that's what happens. If they're still playing, it's what happens. At this point, I don't care, because I'm holding this more on the organization more so than the players. Well, the players from that time, obviously, they were part of it. And if they did know, you know what, they didn't say anything. But, it's the organization who had a conference about this, a full-on conference, and consciously voted and decided to not do anything about it. and to not do anything about Brad Aldrich until after the season. And you know what? Even after they knew this, you know what? They could have just said, you know what? Right after they won, get out. You're not coming to the parade with us. We know what you did. And hold off till the end. But no, they let Brad Aldrich have his day with the Stanley Cup. Because he was part of the team. Let's have him have his day with the Stanley Cup. Yeah, he kind of, did that to Kyle Beach. But you know what? Let's have him have his day with the Stanley Cup, for Pete's sake. Let's give the Stanley Cup to a sexual sex offender. I think that's what it's called. But let's have him take it. Unbelievable. Shameful. Disgusting. Look, this is such a terrible day for this organization. Because, frankly, I don't think it's going to stop here. Because we have all of this going on. And you know what? This needed to happen. Because, you know what? This is 10 years old. Kyle Beach deserves justice. And he is a hero for coming up and stepping forward. He does not deserve to handle and have to deal with this for 11 years to himself. It's a shame to everyone that he was not supported during his utmost time of need. And the fact that he's still around to tell his story is a testament to his strength and resilience. Brad Aldrich did this again after leaving the organization. He did it to, I think, a high schooler in Michigan. And he was convicted of that. And Kyle Beach apologized because he felt like he could have done more to prevent it from happening again. I understand where he's coming from. He feels bad that it had to happen again and that he wasn't able to step forward sooner. That makes him feel worse because it happened again. The same person that did it to him did it to someone else. And you know what? That probably makes him feel worse. And you know what? Well, I understand those who, are saying you don't have to apologize for anything. You shouldn't be apologizing for anything. He feels bad about it. It's a terrible thing that happens. And he feels bad the fact that he allowed it to happen again. But he also thanked him because it allowed him to finally be convicted of it. And he was finally convicted of it. He was caught while the Hawks organization allowed him to get away with it. Kyle Beach was wronged by this entire organization. They ruined his NHL career. And honestly, he really shouldn't be feeling sorry for much because it's not necessarily his fault that he was able to do it again. Yeah, he could have come up forward, but that's still incredibly difficult to do. The organization let him walk away scot-free, and they totally just, you know what? If they, let it under and they, convicted of him after, it still would have been like, oh, wow, they really kept it under for 3 weeks and they won the championship. They prioritized it. That's awful. But you know what? They convicted of him before he could do it again. And they didn't let him walk away. That's exactly what this organization did. They not only covered it up for 10 years, they let him walk away a free man. And that's a shame. I've seen calls for Aldrich's name to be taken off the Stanley Cup. I agree. Should be off. Doesn't deserve to be on there. I don't know if I would go as far to say that, the whole team should be taken off. You know what? They won. I don't think that, this constitutes the entire thing. But Brad Aldrich, definitely off. Does not deserve to be on there. Some of the organizational staff, who knows how that's going to work out. Aldrich for sure. I don't know what to say anymore. I think I've been going and rambling on for a while now. The game is in the back burners. We don't need to talk about the game. You know what? They led for the first time this season. Woohoo. You still lost. You got your second point of the season. You let a former Blackhawk and David Kampf score to tie the game. I mean, I don't need to talk about the game. This is way more important. It's something that needs to be talked about. Yeah, that's it. This organization should be ashamed of themselves. And you know what? Them not having a win to start the season so far, it's fitting. Now, am I going to stay a fan of the Chicago Blackhawks? Yes, take that as you will. Before you write that mean comment, hear me out. This is a dark day in the franchise for sure, but I don't think it's something that I need to leave for. I don't think this is the final straw. I'm loyal to my Chicago sports teams, and frankly, as awful as this is, I don't think that it's going to be the end of my time rooting for Chicago. There are going to be other teams that I really support, but I think the Hawks will still be my number one team. Because this will come and go after all the things have been dealt with. This will be, a thing of the past. We will make changes to be better in the future. That not only being for the Chicago Blackhawks, but the entire NHL as a whole. And I understand why a lot of these fans are leaving this franchise. We've been bad for a couple of years now, and this was the last straw. They're going to go root for another team. And you know what? That's on them. That's their choice. And I'm not going to say that they're wrong or right for doing that, because most people would say it's the right thing to do to stop being a fan. But honestly, I don't care. Doesn't matter. If you want to stay a fan of this team, that's on you, and you're going to stay loyal to this team through thick and thin. If you're not, I understand. It's a disgusting act, and honestly, I can understand why you would not want to support a team like this after something like this allegation and this, I think, lawsuit comes out. Yeah, I'm going to stay a fan of this team. I'm probably going to not wear that jersey for the next couple of games, for the next while, honestly. Probably, I would not be surprised if I don't wear that jersey for another week or two. Definitely not going to be wearing it out in public for the next month, at least, I would assume. But honestly, yeah, I'm just incredibly disappointed with this team, with this organization, with everyone who was involved with this. Kyle Beach did not deserve this. No one does. I am ashamed and disgusted by this organization, and I am not a Hawks fan tonight. So that's going to do it for this one. Kyle Beach, we will stand with you. You are a hero for standing up and coming forth. Such a brave act should be commended. See ya.